Welcome to Dualshock'd, the Brotherhood of Geeks PlayStation podcast. I am one of your hosts, Brett J. Rasmussen, and over here I got my other co-host,
Guru Blaz.
Yeah, what is up, Guru Blaz?
Oh, not too much. The weather's finally nice.
The weather's finally nice? Ooh,
Have
man.
you been outside?
Yes, I have.
Well, the way you said that, just like, no, I live in here.
I live in my house.
Yeah.
I never go out. I
I
hate the sun.
I just recently started playing more Evil Within 2 since I hadn't beaten it yet. I'm on the 13th chapter now, and I think probably the last, or second to last, if there is, just because I was far into it, but I just hadn't played it in months.
Mm-hmm.
Just randomly decided to play it, and like I'm not using it until I beat it at least once. But they added in the options menu, you can like just turn invincibility on and off, or infinite stamina, or one-hit melee kills.
Nice.
Which I'm not going to use until I beat it
Yeah.
the right way.
Yep.
And then it'd be fun to go back through and do that.
Yeah, just pretty much go God mode on
Right.
that. Yeah, that definitely is fun. Is that all you've been playing, or
I
what?
finally beat One Finger Death Punch 2. I'd been on the last level of that
One finger death punch.
for like a few weeks. You don't actually use your fingers though.
Does that work? Did that do anything?
It aroused me.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I'm just kidding.
You wish, bro. You wish. If I swung that way, I'm sorry, but I'd have to go for some higher cuts than you.
I mean, I don't swing that way myself, but like,
But you know that if you did, that I'd be out of your league.
yes, I would tell you. Yes,
That's all I wanted was stab.
There you go. Yes, most definitely.
But no, I beat that because I'd been on the final level for some time, so that was fun. And then I've been playing a little bit of Jet Set Radio because I have.
Oh, that game is fun.
Yeah,
That game is just.
I have it
fun.
on Steam, and I originally tried playing it with computer, like PC, like a keyboard and a mouse, and that game is like impossible to play that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a controller, so I've been playing that, and that's been pretty fun. Other than that, just riding my moped around.
Nice.
And smoking cigarettes at my local park.
Nice.
Pretty much.
It's now pretty much just summer.
Yeah, I mean, it might as well be. I mean,
Yeah.
right now it's still like, it's cool
It's
out.
cool.
It's like 60-ish.
Which
with
is my favorite. I
sun
love
and a
that.
breeze.
Oh.
I like 70 with sun and a breeze because then you're never cold, even when
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Not that it's cold now, but if you're riding around on a two-wheeled vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
Cooling process happens a lot faster. But
Yeah.
that's pretty much been what I've been up to.
Yeah. Let's see. For me, I have finally finished up Days Gone, and our review will be going up very shortly. I actually, I know you haven't played Days Gone, so I need to get someone who actually has played Days Gone. So I'll be getting one special guest to go ahead and do the review with me on Days Gone. So that I just have to go ahead and pull him out of his cave, and that'll be up very shortly. So I beat that game and platinum that game. Dude, just a little tidbit, a little tease. I actually don't agree with all the reviews that have gone up of it being like a 5 out of 10, like that kind of stuff. There are some problems. There are some things. It is definitely not to the caliber that God of War and Marvel Spider-Man and Uncharted 4 and a lot of the other games.
It's hard for any game to be of that caliber. I mean,
but like the PlayStation has been knocking it out of the park when it comes to their big high-end AAA exclusives.
But no one's perfect.
No. But it's not as bad as a lot of the reviews came out to be, and I will be discussing that in the review. But I definitely enjoyed it. I had my problems, but I definitely enjoyed it. But it's definitely not up to the caliber that like God of War and Marvel Spider-Man put up. But outside of that, I've also been going. I've gone back to Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy.
Oh, nice.
Because when that game came out, I played it for a bit. I played 1, beat it. I didn't play 2 or 3 because a bunch of other games came out. So now I'm kind of going back, and I'm going for my platinum runs on those games before CTR comes out. And then pretty much once I finish that, I'm going to get into Rage 2 for that. So just kind of waiting because right now we're kind of in the lull right now. There you go. Got to adjust your seat.
Well, I'm taller, so I'm like having.
You're this way. I'm this way.
Yeah.
So there you go. You did it. You're a champion. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, I've been doing that, and again, I've been very busy doing a bunch of work here and other stuff. So yeah, busy man as always, which is what I do.
Fair enough.
So yeah. Alrighty, so now that we got all that out, so this is pretty much our episode about pretty much before E3. Here we at the Brotherhood of Geeks, everyone at the Brotherhood of Geeks, so me, Guru Blaz, Derek, who is part of our wrestling podcast, weighing in, and Spectre will all be here, whether we're all going to be here or maybe a rotating chair, who knows. But all of us are going to be part of E3, and we're going to be doing a watch along during E3 week, which would be we're going to be covering pretty much most of the press conferences. There's the Microsoft press conference, the Bethesda press conference, Ubisoft, Square Enix, Nintendo, and then EA, as we have said before in one of our past episodes of Dualshock'd. EA isn't going to be at E3 normally. What they're actually going to be doing is they're going to be doing a live stream on Saturday, June 8th of pretty much the games. And they actually have a schedule of all the games they're going to be covering. So I don't think we're going to be getting any surprises from that. But to kind of give you a rundown of kind of the schedule, there's also 2 other press conferences that we're not going to be watching along. It's the PC game show. It's the PC game show, and the VR press conference. The PC gaming show and the Upload VR show. We're not going to be watching that, but we'll probably be either putting out some tweets or maybe put up a quick video about kind of like what we heard, what we're looking forward to. But we're not going to be doing any watch-alongs with that. But we will be keeping our eye on it. But just to let you know, this is kind of the schedule that is going to be happening for E3 week. So starting on Sunday, which is the first E3 press conference, on Sunday, June 9th, will be Microsoft press conference, which will be at 1 o'clock Pacific time, 4 o'clock Eastern time, and 3 o'clock Central time. Then after that is Bethesda's press conference, which is also Sunday, June 9th, at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, and 7:30 p.m. Central time. Then on Monday, we're going to have the Ubisoft press conference, which is Monday, June 10th at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern time, and 3 p.m. Central time. After that is going to be Square Enix's press conference, which is going to be also on Monday, June 10th, at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and 8 p.m. Central time. And then on Tuesday, which is the only conference on Tuesday, is the Nintendo Treehouse, Nintendo Direct, which is Tuesday, June 11th at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 noon Eastern time, and 11 a.m. Central time. And then, as I said before, EA is going to be doing a live stream on June 8th, and that when we talk about EA, I'll do a breakdown of that. So, if you mark that on your calendars, go ahead, put that all down. You can go ahead and watch along with us, just like we have done in our live streams for the last year's E3, the Game Awards, the State of Play, all that kind of good stuff. So we're not going to be doing News of the Nation this episode because we have a lot to cover this time around. So let's go into our PlayStation conversation. Let's begin with the first press conference, which is Microsoft's. And yes, this is a PlayStation conference, but we're going to be covering everything, and we're going to be talking about how what we're looking forward to, what could be there, and then kind of how that relates to PlayStation and why PlayStation isn't going to be there, and how PlayStation can control the narrative or control the conversation but still not being at E3, if that makes any sense. I think I said the right words.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I assume that no matter what,
I'm just giving you crap, man.
Oh, yeah. And I'm giving it back.
Oh, ooh, boy.
By allowing you to think you won.
But I did.
Yeah. we'll see what the scoreboard says at the end.
Oh, okay. So let's go ahead and begin with Microsoft's press conference. Now, normally, Microsoft has kind of become the third-party press conference outside of Ubisoft and EA and Bethesda. So first, let's talk about the Project Scarlet, because that was kind of the big thing that Microsoft kind of left off on at last year's E3.
I mean, it's just essentially going to be whatever their next console is.
But what do you think they're going to be like discussing? Like, do you think they're going to be using the C3 to be like, all right, here's the new system? Because as we said in one of our past episodes, when with the Wired article about Mark Cerny, I almost lost his name. How Mark Cerny pretty much talked about, the PS5 being backwards compatible to the PS4.
I mean, I assume that if anything, they'll probably announce it, give specs, and maybe a look at it or a demonstration. But I don't think they would announce its price or release date quite yet. They could. They very well could. The only reason I think that they would try to get an advantage over the PlayStation, like potential sales of the PlayStation 5 when that comes out.
Yeah.
So if they want, I mean, I highly doubt it would be ready at this point.
No.
But
we're very much in the early stages.
I think that, especially since, Sony has already basically, let the cat out of the bag, that they're definitely going to they're going to address it to some degree. They're at least going to give specs or some form of demonstration, because now that the PlayStation 5 has been announced and we know all the specs, everyone's going to want to compare immediately to see, before it's even bought.
Yeah.
And who knows? I wonder if they would have to change anything about it based off of the PlayStation specs. Like, oh shit, no one's gonna buy this because it's not as good as that, or whatever.
The rumors that I've been hearing about the Project Scarlet, because really we know nothing. Microsoft has said nothing about Project Scarlet outside of at the end of their E3 2018 press conferences was like a minute or two video about the Project Scarlet, and it's going to be joining the Xbox One family. I believe that's what Phil Spencer said. So, with this system, the reason why PlayStation did the Wired article is so that way they could then combat, because the Project Scarlet, and I remember last year, even us when we talked at the end of our press conference when we watched Microsoft, we were like, what are we expecting, that kind of thing. That was the big talk of the town after Microsoft, outside of Cyberpunk 2077 and a few others. And with Microsoft's services being really well done with the Game Pass and the adaptive controller and all of that kind of stuff, the rumor that I've been hearing is that they're going to actually make two systems. There's going to be one that is going to be kind of like your standard version, not as powerful, probably like the Xbox One S version of whatever the Project Scarlet is. It's your standard version.
Right. Well, because the One X is
the more powerful one.
Yeah.
So they're going to make the rumor that I've been hearing around the water cooler is that there's two versions. There's going to be one that is like your standard build, so it's not ridiculously powerful. It's still going to be more powerful than the Xbox One S or the current one that we have, but it's not. The X will still beat it out, and then there's going to be a one that is pretty much the Xbox One X version of the Project Scarlet that is more powerful. That's the big kahuna. That's the big one. That's the rumor that I've been hearing about. I've also heard a rumor that they're actually going to be doing 4 systems instead of just 2, but meaning it's the normal and big version that has a disk drive, and then the Xbox One S all digital version. They're going to make a Project Scarlet all digital version, standard, and the big kahuna one. That's also I've heard about that too. But again, this is all rumors. Xbox and Microsoft have said nothing about this. I have yet to hear anything about the Project Scarlet, and I think that's kind of the biggest thing going into Microsoft's press conference. Is what is Xbox going to be talking about with this Project Scarlet? You teased it last year. what are you going to do now? How are you going to combat what PlayStation has done right now? And then hearing about the Wired article about the PS5.
Right.
Which, I think they're going to continue doing the backwards compatibility. They're going to double down on Game Pass, these services. But I think if they go and do the whole DDRM policies, or the kind of what was the fall of the Xbox One when it got announced. Yes, internet is now a necessity in right now, because back in 2013, hearing all of that was so ahead of its time. That's why people got mad at that. That's why, you had to connect your Xbox every 24 hours or blah, 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 blah. That was still a bad thing. Now everyone, you need internet for literally everything now. People have smart homes. Smart homes didn't exist back in 2013. Now you have the Amazon Echo and the Google Home and all that kind of good stuff. But I still don't think that they still need to make sure that the message still has to be to the gamers. They cannot go double back and be like, it's an all-in-one system or whatever. They need to stay forward and go games. That's why last year's E3 was really good to Xbox. I think Xbox won E3 last year because they were like, games. We acquired 5 new studios, and we made out of those 5, we even created a new studio. Outside of just going, all right, Playground Studios, who makes Forza, you are now owned by us. Undead Labs, you are now owned by us, even though they've only made Xbox games. Compulsion is now owned by us. Ninja Theory is owned by us. They're trying to double down on exclusives, which is a good thing, and we saw just games. So I think that's what they need to get across, is that this is for the gamers. We've learned from our mistakes, which is with Phil Spencer being the head of Microsoft, him really running the ship has done a very good job for Microsoft right now. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to Project Scarlet. I really want to see what this system has to offer. I don't think we're going to see the controller. I don't know. I don't think we're going to be seeing the system itself, but we're definitely going to be hearing
I think it's going to either be
specs
or at the most would be maybe a video of some footage from it.
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah. Probably see a side by side of Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite's going to be on the Xbox One, but it's also going to be a launch title for the Project Scarlet, and side by side of what it would be, or something like that. Sure. Which moving in segue into that, let's talk about Halo Infinite.
Honestly, I don't have too much to say about it. It's a new Halo game, but I kind of, not to say that I wouldn't try it, but since I don't have an Xbox One. Mm-hmm. For me, it's that's cool. I think it's cool that they're making Halo again. I like Halo. Don't get me wrong. 1 through 3, amazing game. Well, 4 even 1. Yeah, 1 through 4. I never played Guardians because I heard it wasn't that great.
Yeah.
But it's definitely been a long time. So I think it's going to be interesting to see if it can garner back its once huge popularity.
Yeah.
To see how it affects Fortnite and all the other big shooters currently, because they're not worried about a battle royale mode or anything.
Yeah, they made the joke about
BR they're working on is the battle rifle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm honestly okay with it not going into that battle royale. There's far too many.
I honestly think it's and I've seen articles about just saying it's just because it's been so successful, everyone thinks they need to have it, and it's that's enough. Mm-hmm. We don't need that. It doesn't need to become the standard game model.
Yeah.
Because inherently, it may be fun to a degree, but it's not what makes a game fun. Just simply by having a battle royale type mode.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, Super Smash Brothers is a battle royale.
Yeah.
It's just last man standing, H1Z1 or obviously PUBG. There's so many of them now, especially
Apex Legends.
Yeah, 2 of them which are free. being the biggest one. Well, although Apex is pretty much dead right now. Like
No.
they are far and away from where they were.
Apex Legends is not dead.
It's not dead, but it's dying.
What I mean, I don't think it's even dying at all. Apex, just Fortnite has become the end all be all of that. And yes, when Apex Legends came out, you had the massive spike. But yes, now it's kind of tapering off.
I'm just saying, like they're not like. I mean, in the news I've been seeing recently, they're just like not to say that it's like they're planning on abandoning it, but it's definitely not anywhere near where it was.
No, but I think because Apex,
but Anthem is definitely dying.
Oh, Anthem is definitely dying. That, oh yeah,
it's like pretty much like
they have
barely even the people who were like playing it are like there's just no one left.
No, and we'll definitely when we get to EA the live stream, I'll want to dig deeper into that. But no, with Halo Infinite, like they said that it's kind of like a not a straight up reboot, but like it's a I don't even know. It's just that kind of refreshing the franchise,
like God of War.
Yeah,
or Doom.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Basically, just reinstating it. Like I'm sure that the story will be continuation. I doubt that they'd start over.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they're probably going to have time travel.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the only place they can go to have, enough content. I don't know. I'm not like it just came to mind. Like I mean, and it's not even like with the technology that you've seen in the Halo series, it would be out of the realm of possibility.
No, not at all. Yeah,
But
like I love Halo. That's like
I love Halo
a big reason why.
But
like
I just haven't played it in so many years. It's just like.
Yeah, I mean, like Halo is the reason why I do enjoy Xbox. And like I had an original Xbox.
That was the reason you got an Xbox.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Oh yeah.
Halo.
Oh Halo, like again, Halo 2 was like a massive part of my childhood.
Halo 2, yeah. I played the first one a little bit, but the second one was the one that like made the most. When I first played Halo 2, like I had never played a game like that before.
Mm-hmm.
It was insane.
Oh yeah, and even for me, I know not a lot of people like it, and there's a small following for it, but I love Halo Wars.
I haven't played Halo Wars, although I've been interested to try it out because like I like certain aspects of certain strategy games. I don't know how it's set up. Like,
Did you play Warcraft 3?
No.
Have you played? Okay, it's.
But I know how that plays.
It's very similar to like Warcraft 3 or StarCraft. Like you create a base.
Okay. I'm not a big RTS guy.
Okay, I love.
Like I'm not saying I think it's a bad game type, but I like games like XCOM or Divinity or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like in its defense, I haven't really played that many RTSs. Like it's just like. Games like that or League of Legends, like I don't know, like the style of gameplay is just not very engaging for me. It's just for me, there's just not enough going. I mean, there's a lot going on, but I'm not really doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the same reason I think The Sims is boring, outside of the creation aspect. Creating things is cool, but like for me, just running this. I mean, obviously RTS has a little bit more going on, like what you're actually doing as far as gameplay. But I like more visceral action games, or at the very least, like a turn-based aspect to it. Where as opposed to just a bunch of stuff, like you're just like randomly clicking around, or like I get that it can be fun in a way, but for me personally, it's like the one game type where I just don't innately find any joy in playing it.
Yeah, but again, Halo Infinite, we don't really know much about it. Again, Microsoft has been very quiet with a lot of their products, a lot of their games. Trying to get
this thing sucks.
I know. You got it. Come on now, you got it. You can do it. I believe in you.
Belief has nothing to do with it. This thing doesn't want to stay in the same spot.
Because now
because it's not screwed in all the way.
Oh,
so it's your fault.
Oh, it's apparently I guess I forgot.
I'm just gonna do something here.
Ooh, look, you being smart.
Yeah, well, I don't feel like screwing it back in right now because it takes too much time.
Phrasing. Boom. You got it. You got it.
This thing sucks.
You got it. I know.
I mean, it doesn't suck, but it's not working the way it
It's
should.
not working the way that he wants it.
You just keep
All right,
fucking
sweet. I'll move on.
and
While he fixes things, he's having problems over there, but it's okay.
It's irritating.
I don't blame you. All right, so we got Gears 5, which is kind of the other big game that we kind of saw from last year's E3. They pretty much showed off Gears Pops, which is now I think it looks like a mobile game.
Yeah, I was seeing that. I haven't seen footage of the game itself, but it's like I can't even imagine what you would do in a game like that. Like I mean, I know why it's being done because people are just gonna pay money for shit like that, but I don't know. For me, it's just like what I don't know.
I don't
see the appeal.
Again, I thought it was like, oh, we're making Gears Pops, like the figures. I thought it was like a nice cute. Look at you. Look at you.
That's much better.
There you go.
Okay.
You a champion. Look at you being a beast.
Well, this was just too loose, so it kept falling down.
Yeah.
So it wasn't tight. But now we're good.
Phrasing. Boom. All right. But with Gears 5, that trailer, like again, Gears 5, that definitely looks good. Like Gears and Halo.
I still gotta play 4, but again, like I don't have an Xbox, so.
Did you play Gears like 1, 2, or 3?
Well, I've beaten 1 through 3 in Judgment.
Okay.
But I haven't. I played a little bit of 4, but I haven't. I don't know an Xbox. Obviously, I haven't beaten it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like Gears 5, that was a big game. One thing I just don't understand, why is it just not Gears of War 5? Like it's like the name of the
because
game.
The war's over, maybe. Or, like it's a whole. I mean, like I think it's a lot. Well, first of all, it's a way more marketable title
Because everyone calls Gears 1,
Right,
Gears
like
2, Gears
right,
4.
Right, and I think that in addition to that, it's probably with the story. Like Gears of War made sense up into the 4th game. I mean, I don't know what the story really is for 5, but I would venture to say that this far in the future, maybe it's like they're not in that kind of war anymore. It's a different type of game. Obviously, it's going to be something different, or people are just going to say it's the same old thing.
Yeah. So again,
and that's to also just drive home like this is different. This is Gears 5, God of War instead of God of War 3.
blank. Or
Right.
like the new God of War.
Starting it over.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's still the 5th
It's
game
still the-
chronologically in the series story.
No.
Well, it'll be the 6th game, but whatever.
Yeah. I think it's like what? It's
Judgment may as well have been an expansion.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Far Cry New Dawn. It's the same thing. It's a full game that you probably could have just put on 3 and it would have been fine.
Yeah. But yeah, like we only saw one trailer, and I think we're going to be getting more. Probably a gameplay demo of it, which would be really rad.
I would be surprised. If
Oh
they
yeah.
didn't.
Then of course one of the big announcements from last year is that as we have stated before, Microsoft has acquired 5 new studios, including creating the Initiative. What do you think we're going to be seeing out of these? We're probably going to be seeing Playground and other Forza. So we got Horizon. We got Horizons last year, so we're going to be getting another Motorsport this year.
Right.
Undead Labs does the it's the zombie game. I can't even think of it. No. You mean World War Z? Yeah, no. But there has been
Dying Light 2.
Dying Light 2 has been talked about being at E3 this year. I can't think of it, but like it's
too many zombie games.
I know, but it's like I think it's like DayZ. I think it's DayZ. I think that's what it is.
DayZ?
I think, but I could be wrong. I might be wrong about that. I'm going to quickly
I
look
hope
at that.
Ninja Theory comes out with another Ninja Gaiden, like a new one, like a modern Ninja Gaiden, with like some dark, because it was already hard. Like even the original, despite how flashy the combat in those games is, there
State of Decay. That's what. State of Decay. That's what they do.
There's a high difficulty to those games, and I think that a modern Ninja Gaiden would be awesome. I love Ninja Theory because every game, like they know how to make a fun hack and slash combat system. I mean, we're talking Dynasty Warriors, Ninja Gaiden, DMC when they did that remake.
Yep.
Dead or Alive.
And Hellblade. Hellblade's the newest sacrifice. Like that was Like they were.
I haven't played that, but yeah,
game is great.
They know how to make a combat system. Is basically what I'm saying. But I think a new Ninja Gaiden would be really cool.
And that honestly, I was very surprised that they acquired that studio. I'm like,
I know when you said that earlier, I was just like, really?
Yeah,
an American company acquired Ninja Theory.
Yeah, and I think, but that's really smart because like they need something like that because like when
there's a market for those games,
and Microsoft needs to jump into that market because when I think Microsoft, I think bro shooters, I think Halo, I think Gears, I think like online games. That's what I think of when you think of Microsoft. So them going with Ninja Theory and then Compulsion, which is the studio behind We Happy Few, like that's really good. Mm-hmm. And all these studios are now making games for the Xbox One. So I really look forward to that. I really don't know. Honestly, I would love to see like Ninja Gaiden, like a whole new.
That's what I'm saying, like a brand new,
a whole new, straight up and down,
like new graphics, probably some sort of Sekiro / Dark Souls style combat. They made Neo. Capcom, and that's like Neo is essentially like their version of Dark Souls.
Yeah.
So I feel like, with a little bit more jumpiness, with a little bit more of that flashy ninja. Yeah.
I thought it was Team Ninja.
Capcom owned Team Ninja. They were
okay. Well, look at me being smart.
But no, yeah, Capcom made Neo, and that was a very. It was different, definitely, but it had a very Dark Soulsy feel.
Yeah.
And I think that. It's been a long enough time, and I still think Ninja Gaiden's like, Ryu Hayabusa, like he's a playable character in Dead or Alive. Mm-hmm. I just think that a modern Ninja Gaiden would be really cool. Or games like Ninja Blade that, it's like those, because it could still be very difficult, even though like it would appear that it's easy because you can just, it's like Sekiro.
Yeah.
You can jump around, you have no stamina bar, but that doesn't mean you're not going to get your ass mollywops,
Mm-hmm.
So I think a new modern Ninja Gaiden like reboot would be cool.
I agree. Yeah. That then Compulsion, I don't know. I think
I don't know enough about them, and they've only I have not played We Happy Few. I know it looks really good, and I know the story, and it seems like a really fun game. Mm-hmm. But it's just like I don't have the money to buy every game I want to play.
I get you. Mm-hmm.
Not to mention I still have plenty of games I still own that I've yet to beat.
Mm-hmm.
So I try not to buy too many other, unless I have to have it, like Mortal Kombat 11, of course, have to have it. But outside of that. That's why I didn't pick up Days Gone. Like it's like there's games that look fun, Rage 2, but it's like I'm not spending a full $60 on it because it's just not viable. Like I still have stuff to play, and I don't want it that bad. Mortal Kombat 11, yeah, I had to get that, but I had a pre-order and I paid that off like over the course of months.
Yeah.
As soon as it was announced, I made the pre-order the next day.
And then last thing about Microsoft's conference is that they're kind of like, as I said before, they're like the third party conference that's if it's not Ubisoft, EA, or Bethesda. So we already know Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be there, which that's going show me gameplay, show me straight up and down, like give me like 5-10 minutes of gameplay.
I that's probably other than that and Ghost of Tsushima are like my big two like overall anticipated games that I know of that have been released or like talked about.
Not even Death Stranding, because Death Stranding.
Oh yeah, Death Stranding too. Because they did just release some new stuff about it.
Yep, it actually.
No, that looks good too. Like mainly just because no one comes out with horror games anymore. Like, when is other than Evil Within 2, and then, okay, if Resident Evil wasn't making games, there would literally be, like, no dedicated survival horror series that aren't independently developed.
Yeah.
Like, nobody makes them anymore, and I don't understand why. Like, I want a Silent Hill reboot.
Oh,
that would be phenomenal.
But problem
it won't ever happen.
No, because Konami owns it.
But it would be awesome.
Oh, I agree.
If it did.
I agree. That's why.
But that's essentially what I view Death Stranding.
Well, that's what Death Stranding is. Death Stranding is Kojima. He wanted to do Silent Hill, but then Konami went no.
And he's added a lot of other elements to it.
Yeah,
it seems
it comes out in November. Like there's a 8-minute trailer that Kojima put out, and honestly, watching that made me go, "Yep." I'm in now. I understand what the story is about. I know what's happening. I still don't get it, but like I understand. Okay, this is why, that kind of thing. But we'll get into that later. Mm-hmm. But third-party games, we know that like Dying Light has kind of been talked about being there. There's what would you like to see out of third party that's not Ubisoft or Square Enix or Bethesda or anything.
Cyberpunk is number one at this point in time, but like third party.
I think that's going to be the biggest surprise coming out of Microsoft.
What?
It's just the third-party games.
Oh yeah,
because like
honestly, I don't
Metro
even,
Exodus was
like
shown
again.
off there.
I don't have an Xbox, so it's like I don't
remember
consider
how
these.
But remember how they showed like Devil May Cry 5
Sure.
was shown off at Microsoft's press conference, and that's straight up that's a PlayStation game. Like when
yeah.
I think Devil May Cry, I think PlayStation.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So like them showing off Devil May Cry 5 at last year's, that was nuts. Like I lost my mind seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's kind of we've definitely talked a lot, probably enough about Microsoft. But let's go ahead and move on. The next press conference after that is Bethesda. So we know about Doom Eternal from last year, and I think that's going to be the big game they're going to be focusing on.
Sure.
Like last year, like everyone with Bethesda, they always have one game that they spend the most time on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think last year was like Rage 2, I believe. I think that was kind of what they spent the most time on.
Probably.
Either that or Fallout 76. But Doom Eternal, like we're probably going to be seeing gameplay of that, which that's going to be rad. And I love the 2016 Doom.
Oh,
that was awesome.
It was phenomenal.
Probably more DLC for Elder Scrolls Online, the mobile game Elder Scrolls Legends. Todd Howard has already stated before, like he pretty much last year we saw a trailer, like a little like 1 minute trailer for Elder Scrolls 6 with like it's just Elder Scrolls 6 and it just looks like it's a pan over the world, and I believe he pretty much put that out there to really just go, we're making the game, stop asking us, please, just it'll be ready when it's ready. And really they need to create a new engine for Elder Scrolls and Starfield. And Todd Howard has already said that
the original Elder Scrolls, like creating a game on such a scale that would have to be even greater than Skyrim. Like
they need a new
that's
engine.
going to take years to do, long time.
Like honestly, create a new engine, have it be developed for the next gen consoles.
Yeah.
Like that's what needs to be done. But they already stated, Todd Howard has already said no Starfield and no Elder Scrolls 6, unless he does a big whole twist on us and he goes Starfield or whatever. But those games have been in far development, so we're not going to be seeing that. So. We may see some more Rage 2, like some like Rage 2 DLC, maybe Fallout 76, but I would probably avoid that as hard as possible because no one likes it except Spectre. He's like the only one who likes that game.
There are people who play it,
yeah.
But I like because I used to play like World of Warcraft, which is essentially like all Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout 76. It's like the same idea with a different mechanic and different world.
In different world. Yeah.
And it's like I like those kind of games, but I just think I kind of grew out of playing them just because there's just having to pay for a subscription or whatever it is.
Or you have to buy the expansions every time.
Right, yeah, and it's like, not that that's a bad thing, it's just like, I kind of like, not having to always be online to play a game.
Yeah, I agree. And for me, like, a lot of the games that I buy are pretty much like one and done games. Like, once I beat it, once I platinum it, I'm done. I'm not going
Or the
back.
next time I do play it is going to be like 2 years from now.
Yeah, like years from now. I keep them, but the reason I want to go back is because I want to reminisce, what I played or whatever. But I like the one and done kind of games because then I can eat it, I can digest it. There are very few games, like I think Monster Hunter World and honestly Destiny 2 Forsaken have been the games where I've been like, all right, let me go back into this game and continue where I left off.
Sure.
So that'll be definitely very interesting. But do you think we're going to be seeing anything else from Bethesda, or do you think it's kind of going to be very probably going to be seeing Wolfenstein, Youngblood, and Cyber Pilot, which that comes out in like June or July.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to be seeing that. But can you think of anything else?
I'm trying to think.
Because honestly, I honestly don't know. I can't think of anything.
I'm trying
else.
to think of what they've been doing.
Well, Arcane,
Fallout 5. I don't know.
Well, we haven't heard anything from Arcane. The last game Arcane did was, I believe, Prey. The Dishonored 2 came out first, then Prey, I believe. It's either that or reverse it. So we might see something from Arcane, which that would be rad.
Oh, sure.
Arcane, in my opinion, is the best studio in Bethesda's wheelhouse. So that would be rad if we see something from Arcane, but I honestly can't think of anything else.
Yeah, I guess, because like outside of their bigger titles, they just, I mean, like Doom, like there hasn't, I mean, there could be other stuff that I'm just not thinking of, but yeah. Oh, you know what? Evil Within 3.
Ooh, yeah, I forgot that's a Bethesda game.
Although I don't know how 2 ends, so that may sound dumb when I say it, but like,
well, that's you going wishful thinking. That's you going, I want this game.
I'm on like the last level of the game. Like even if he wins, like I'm sure there could be like a new character, because Evil Within is honestly the best horror franchise that exists in my opinion right now. Resident Evil's good,
Resident Evil 2 remake is...
Right, but I don't count that because it's a remake of a pre-existing game.
I get you.
What I mean?
Well, and
it's still part of the Resident... I mean, like Resident Evil's great. Some of them are.
There you go.
Or I should say some of them aren't, most of them are.
There you go.
But...
I knew what you meant.
Evil Within 2, it's made by the same people, along with Bethesda. So it plays like Resident Evil, but it feels like Silent Hill. Yeah. And that's why I really like it, because there's nothing, like I said, other than like Death Stranding... which is, not out, so it does, there's just no, unless it's zombie, I don't like Days Gone, it's not a horror game in the
Days
sense.
Gone is not a horror game. Right. And even Last of Us is not, Last of Us isn't a horror game.
I don't consider zombies in that way to be horror. I mean, it is horror in a way, but it's not a horror game.
It's not.
It's not survival horror.
Exactly. It's not built on it's not built on scaring you. Until Dawn is more of a horror game than Days Gone or Last of Us.
It's a scary movie,
exactly,
basically.
Yes, and I love Until Dawn.
But games like Silent Hill or Deadly Premonition or Condemned or The Darkness, well, not really Darkness, but you get what I'm saying. I get what you're saying. Like I miss like how there's no one making games, or like not enough people making horror games, like the subtle, horror, like Amnesia, Clock Tower type horror. Not necessarily gameplay wise, but like the atmosphere. Yeah. And like that's what I really like about those kinds of games, which is why Silent Hill is so good to me, because it's like they like pioneered that essentially. Like, and the fog and everything. Just like, I don't know. That's I think I would like to see a series like Evil Within keep going. Yeah. Or at least come back in some other incarnation before. I mean, obviously Death Stranding, but it's like that's still only one game. I want, I still would like other options in the horror genre.
I think I need I can see how Death Stranding could be a horror game, but I think it's more of a thriller. I don't know. Well, I need to see more of it.
Yeah, but it has the elements of horror, which I personally like.
Okay, yeah, but really, honestly, Bethesda, there's really not much that I can be like. Bethesda is probably one of the conferences where I'm like, I'm going to watch it, I'll look forward to it, but I'm not like, oh my god, I can't wait for this one. Sure. The one that I am looking forward to, and the one that I'm like, ooh yeah, outside of Microsoft's, is Ubisoft's. I cannot wait for Ubisoft's, because there's a lot of games from Ubisoft's wheelhouse that I'm looking forward to. One is Skull and Bones. We've heard about that for the past 2 years now. And that's the game that's pretty much, did you like Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag? Yeah. Well, we took out all the Assassin's Creed and left all the pirate stuff in. It's now a pirate game. That's all it is.
I still gotta play that Assassin's Creed.
Black Flag, that's...
Well, I've heard that it's really good.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
I just haven't played it.
The one, again, for me being the massive Assassin's Creed fan that I am, I mean, look at it. Which, by the way... Look at this new setup that we got here. Look at that. I love this. I love it. There's tons of statues. We got Mortal Kombat. We got Sekiro. We got Dishonored, Darksiders. All the Assassin's Creed behind me. Look at that. I love it. Looks very nice.
I'm glad. Happy for you.
Had to change it up a little bit, It's pretty much E3. We went ahead and covered E3. It's been about a year or so,
sure.
Maybe a little less, but but anyway, with Assassin's Creed 4, that's the one that everyone loved, and in my opinion, I think the reason why a lot of people liked it was the pirate aspect. I love Assassin's Creed for its story and stuff, but I've even my roommate, he's like when it takes you away from the past of the pirate parts and brings you into the present, he's like, I hate this. I don't want to be in an office. I don't want to be doing this. Put me back into being a pirate. Which for me, I didn't mind that, because that's why I play Assassin's Creed, is because of that story part.
The story.
But I get why people are like, oh, this is so good. And it really is really good, but it's the pirate aspect, which I'm so glad, and it's awesome. but now it's like, if you liked Black Flag, but you didn't like the Assassin's Creed aspect of it, here is the game that you've been waiting for, which is Skull and Bones. You want pirates?
I'm sure there'll be an
Here
online component to it.
I have a feeling that it might be like For Honor, where it's going to be always online. You are in your ship, and you're going to be like fighting off again. Yeah. Which, honestly, I don't mind that. I don't mind that, because like, For Honor has a story mode in it,
right?
And we're seeing like a lot of Ubisoft's games, especially when it comes to lists like Rainbow Six Siege, Wildlands, For Honor. All these are like, you have to be connected to the internet in order to do that. But if you're a single player, story driven guy, we still give that to you. It's not just it's all online, you just do matches, like that kind of stuff. There's a story aspect.
Yeah, more substance.
Which I like.
I agree.
So I'm looking forward to Skull and Bones. Another one that I'm looking forward to, the cult classic, Beyond Good and Evil 2.
I never played the first one because I never owned it, but I have seen footage of it and it looks fun.
You can download it PS2 and PS4 digitally on the PlayStation Store.
How much?
I believe it's like maybe $10 to $20, somewhere around there.
I'll have to check it out.
Worth it. It's worth your time. It's great. But yeah, the Beyond Good and Evil 2, massive upgrade. Like again, like graphically, it's much. It's open world and all of that kind of stuff. Like, that's a game that I'm looking forward to. The other game that kind of has been teased is Watch Dogs 3. That the rumor is that... I still
have yet to play the Watch Dogs series.
I can see that you really don't play Ubisoft games.
It's not that I go out of my way. It's just like I said, like, I have to have a genuine interest to pay $60 or whatever it might be. So usually I wait till games are fairly cheap because it's like I'm not in that much of a hurry to play it.
Yeah, I get you. Like, really, for me, I like Ubisoft.
I have nothing
guy.
against Ubisoft. I mean, they've made plenty of great games. Like, I like the I beat Assassin's Creed 1, 2, Revelations. What else? Rayman was one of the first games I remember playing.
Far Cry 5 and Far Cry New Dawn are great. Far Cry New Dawn is just more Far Cry 5 with a different story. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. It's good. It's good. It's fine.
It's no less good than Far Cry 5.
Exactly. But like I love you. Ubisoft to me is like the lesser of all of the third-party evils of like Activision, EA.
Sure.
Ubisoft has its problems, but like I'm looking forward to like the rumor is that Watch Dogs 3 is going to be taking place in London, which I believe how you figured that out is. I believe it's that in Watch Dogs 2, there's a mission where
you go to Ubisoft and steal a game.
Yeah. I just want to remind, because that's kind of the remember about that. There we go. I just want to quickly look up kind of like what the rumor is, and yeah, because
that's right, dude. I want a new Splinter Cell game.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
Because I
forgot Ubisoft made it because they just haven't done one in so long.
Yeah,
dude, I love Splinter Cell and I love this series. I love Sam Fisher. They need to get Michael Ironside to voice him again.
No, I agree.
Or what was it? Black. Oh, what was the newer one?
Blacklist.
Yeah, that was a great game. But you can't. They just changed. Like, the bad thing I had to say is they changed the voice to Sam Fisher to some other person. It wasn't Michael Ironside. But anyway, I feel it's been way too long, and I want another Splinter Cell game. And he even like popped up in Tom Clancy's I think Wildlands or Ghost Recon, one of the two. But I love that stealth series, and I would love to see like a modern Splinter Cell like on PS4 because there hasn't been one. The last one was it was like last generation was the last time a Splinter Cell game.
And we haven't another genre that we really don't get anymore are like true stealth games.
Other than Hitman, but Hitman 2 came out a little while ago.
But like that's
outside of Hitman, that was pretty much it.
But like name another game,
right? There was Hitman and Splinter Cell. Like those were pretty much like the definitive.
And Metal Gear,
Assassin's Creed, you could argue, but it's gone away from that.
No, like Assassin's Creed is super gone away from that. Now it's kind of more like The Witcher. It's more of an RPG than that
with stealth elements.
Yeah, but even
technically Dishonored's a stealth game in a way. But
yeah, Dishonored is more of a stealth game than that. But like Metal Gear, Hitman, Splinter Cell. Those are like, for me, another game that I want to see from Ubisoft. That
I guess you could argue Sekiro too, but you have the option to go loud.
Yeah,
they're not. I think I would put that in the same category because it is you're supposed to be stealthy in it. You're a ninja.
Another one that I would lose my absolute mind over would be if we got a new Prince of Persia.
That would be phenomenal.
love Prince of Persia.
Oh yeah.
And if they go, even if they just go, here's remasters, like graphically redone. Here's
like
Sands of Time to Warrior
Which,
Within.
fun fact, actually was an offshoot of the Assassin's Creed series.
Exactly. Assassin's Creed was an offshoot of Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, so that's with Ubisoft. Let's move on to Square Enix. That's going to be the next one. Square Enix.
Square Anus.
What? Am I saying it wrong?
No. Be the first time
I say Square Enix.
Yeah.
I always say it like that.
I just thought of Square Anus, and it was funny.
I always say it's either Square Enix or Square Enix. I don't know. Maybe it's because
I think Square Enix rolls off the tongue better, but I think Square Enix is less prone to mistranslation.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, it's one of those kind of things. But this is going to be, I believe, a straight up and down press conference. Where last year we got
and I'm excited too. But I want to see more Final Fantasy VII. I want to see the Avengers project just because it looks interesting.
So we already know that at Square Enix's press conference is going to be Final Fantasy VII because of the state of play. We already know that, and I think we're going to be getting release date.
I hope so.
Straight gameplay.
Because honestly, that's everything else I don't care as much about. That's pretty much the main thing I want to know about. Mm-hmm. Unless they have something that they haven't announced that they'll talk about.
Yep.
Kingdom Hearts 4, obviously.
Kingdom Hearts 4.
Fortnite 2. Square Enix directly involved, and they're going to make all the characters look like Final Fantasy.
Oh God. Yeah, that'll be a crossover.
The most ambitious crossover.
Oh my God. But with the Square Enix, I'm looking forward to Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's going to be rad. I think it's still episodic. God, Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. My hair is just out of my place. It's going to be a remake, and they said it was going to be episodic. So we might get episode 1 by the fall of this year. I don't...
Sounds like a business decision.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, the original PS1 game was PS1?
Yeah, PS1.
Yeah, the original had, 3 or 4 discs.
Yeah, no, 2.
2?
2 discs.
Okay, then I think they should do it in, that's probably what they'll do is they'll do it in 2 chunks. Just because it'll kind of give that same, that aspect of the nostalgia, plus, if they drag it out too long, people are probably gonna get pissed.
Yeah. Isn't Hitman 2 episodic also, or
no? Hitman 1.
I remember Hitman 1 was.
Well, you can get the complete collection, so essentially it makes it not episodic.
Yeah.
But I haven't played. I'm still playing through the first one. I haven't played that in a bit just because it was free a month or two ago.
Yeah.
But the second one was I haven't played it, but I know it was one solid standalone game.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I remember when they announced that, when they first talked about it, and then we started getting more and more details out. It was going to be episodic, and I remember a lot of people, even myself, I was like, "Argh. Can I just get a full game? I don't care how long it is. Just give me the whole dang thing." Mm-hmm. But regardless, I'm looking forward to that. We're probably going to be getting more on Kingdom Hearts because right now we got the newest update patch where now critical mode is now active in Kingdom Hearts 3. And we talked about on one of our news segments in Dualshock'd where they've talked about paid DLC and stuff like that. I think we're going to be getting our first paid DLC that's going to expand on the story of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Sure.
And explains that crazy ending in Kingdom Hearts 3. But the game that really I'm looking forward to the most, honestly, is the Avengers project.
I don't know much about it, but it looked interesting.
So there has been a leak that has been put out that it you can customize, you can choose an Avenger, and then you can customize them. And it I've been hearing talks or people are speculating that it might be Square Enix's version of Destiny. So it's going to be an online Like, you're going to be fighting against, like, different villains from all of, Marvel and stuff like that. You choose your hero, which I'm going to choose Thor. I'm ready to play as Thor. That's what I'm ready for.
There is a Thor video game, right?
Yeah, dude. That game is not... No, I played it. I played it. I beat it. I platinumed it. Never again. That was at a time where I just bought games to platinum them. I didn't care. I just wanted to get more platinums.
I got you.
But really, I'm really looking forward to.
I just want a new Hulk game.
I mean, you could play as the Hulk in this.
Yeah, but if it's an online thing, I mean, I don't know how that's going to work. Like, how are you going to do that?
Again, this there was a leak out and showing a little bit like pictures.
Maybe like City of Heroes or something.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, really, that's what I'm looking forward to from Square Enix is really what this game is. We haven't heard about this game in I believe at least 2 years, maybe even 3. This has been worked on for a very long time, and we're now going to finally hear about it. And I'm excited about that. I'm very excited about that. And then probably some other Square Enix games, like a Dragon Quest game or something like that. But I think this time around, you're going to care about Square Enix's press conference.
Oh yeah.
Last year's was just here's Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which we already knew about, and it's coming out in next month. Because it came out, I believe, in June or July, and then it showed off just a bunch of games that no one cared about, The Quiet Man. That was a bad game. Dragon's Quest, which it has its following and it's there, and just a few other ones. I'm whatever. But this time around, I think now you can actually talk about that, and you can actually show off more if there's more studios from the U.S. that are owned by Square Enix that they're going to be doing games for. We're going to be seeing more of that, and that would be really good too. So then after that, because that's the last one on Monday, and then after that is Nintendo's press conference, which is the Nintendo Treehouse on Tuesday. This is kind of where we could probably literally go anywhere with this.
I don't know.
I'm kind of from Nintendo. I think we're going to be seeing the next DLC, the next fighter pack, because now Joker's out. Another way that you can get people excited about Smash still, and why you should buy it, is showing off the next fighter.
They might touch on their new console idea, possibly, which is definitely a thing that they're going to be doing at some point.
Whoa, which is what?
The next Switch, whatever it's going to be, they might talk about.
Oh, you mean like a Switch Slim or something? You mean that?
Whatever.
I mean, I mean,
I'm just saying, I'm just spitballing because I don't know.
I mean, we know about Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Right.
We know about that. And I think you can really.
Again, I don't have a Switch, so.
You could definitely show off. Pretty much you can show off the bigger evolutions, the final evolutions of your starters. You can show straight up and down gameplay. Mm-hmm. There was a Pokemon press conference about earlier this week that talked about Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon Home, and a few other things. But there were more services than anything. But here you can talk about Sword and Shield and really spend a lot of time with it. For me, I love Metroid, so Metroid Prime 4. They announced that back in, I believe it was 2017. I believe it was 2017. Yeah, it was 2017's Nintendo Direct. That's really good, and we could probably
Animal Crossing.
Yeah, that's it. Because that was shown up.
That's probably the biggest.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's what you could probably spend the most time on because we know nothing of that. We know about Pokemon Sword and Shield, and you can do Pokemon.
I mean, I don't know. What else? I know that it's being worked on. I don't know, but the thing is, I don't even. There's been so little about it, other than a few pieces of footage. I don't even have anything to say about it. It's just it's going to be what you the next version. I love Animal Crossing on GameCube.
Yeah,
and I would love that would make me. I mean, I want to get a Switch, but it's Animal Crossing.
You, there needs to be more games. Could Animal Crossing
There's a lot of games on the Switch. It's insane how many games are ported to Switch.
I know
all the time.
I know, and but that's
great. It's
that's
great.
the best
but
part
again,
about
it's
that.
still a $300 system.
I get you. So for me, for Smash Brothers, I was there. For me, if That's when I was going to spend.
That's when I was going to too, but like again, I just was like, you know what, I'm going to wait because that's just
not enough yet.
Yeah,
not enough yet. Do you think Animal Crossing could beat that one?
It might be, depending on how it turns out.
Because you have Odyssey,
yep,
you have Breath of the
Wild. There's a
Wild,
lot of
like
other indie titles that I would play on there too. Plus the eShop.
And then like for me, I love like I have no problem buying Crash Bandicoot twice, one for my PS4 and then one for my Switch. Doom, I already have Skyrim for mine. Like that's like I think I have Doom. It's either I know I have Elder Scrolls, but like I love that the third parties and especially Ubisoft is going to be doing that. So and like we might be seeing the Ubisoft Nintendo crossover like we did how with like Starlink. That's a Ubisoft game, but they put Fox in Mario Rabbids. Yeah. So we might see that coming like between Ubisoft and Nintendo. So that would be really good.
I still think Rabbids are dumb. I think they're an annoying character.
They're just Ubisoft.
Rayman is dope.
I know. I agree. And
Rayman also needs to be in Smash.
Ooh. What if that's the next one of the next fighters?
I would.
That would be rad. And they show that on the Ubisoft conference. It wouldn't be hard to make
moveset for.
No, you could. No,
easy.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I remember playing the first Rayman on PC. That was like part of
because it's like I believe it's up jump. So I think it's up
he's just got floating hands. It's just charge punch.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could go a lot of ways.
Oh yeah.
And
that would get a lot of eyes on Ubisoft conference. Like you can either do it at Ubisoft.
Or a new Rayman game.
Ooh, that would
like
be
an
rad.
open world 3D platformer Rayman game.
So like Odyssey? So like an Odyssey
like
version
Rayman
of Rayman
Odyssey? Yeah,
okay.
That'd be cool. I'm just saying that'd be cool.
No, I agree.
Because I love Rayman.
Oh,
I agree. I don't mean because like the 2D is great too. Don't get me wrong, it's amazing. But I think that's like the one thing that Rayman hasn't.
That
really
could be
done.
the next evolution.
Right.
That would be rad.
Plus, like, when's the last time you heard of anything Rayman coming out?
No, I agree. And like we haven't heard from UB Arts either. We haven't heard from them in a long time. They're kind of like the very indie version from Ubisoft.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like really, like Nintendo could literally go anywhere. We already know about Link's Awakening, so we might see more of that. Let's see. We already got new
Ocarina of Time too.
Maybe who knows? But like, there's a lot. There's a lot of ways that Nintendo could go. But I think we're gonna be seeing like more of the third party, and then probably a focus on Animal Crossing and that. Mm-hmm. So those are going to be all the press conferences that we're covering. There's of course the PC gaming show, and the VR. So it's going to be probably more experiences, stuff like that for the PC. They're going to be talking about like probably going to be seeing more stuff of. PC games, probably more Borderlands, stuff like that. Which Borderlands I could even think of being at Microsoft's conference too. Excuse me. But then but after that, so that's pretty much all of E3. That's Nintendo is the last press conference, and then pretty much the E3 is then open up to the public, and that's pretty much going to be going on from Tuesday, Wednesday, and I believe Thursday. But it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Those are going to be the days that like E3 is happening. But like after Nintendo's press conference, it's then open up to the public, and we're going to be hearing a lot more. We're going to be hearing people playing the game demos. So that'll be very interesting, and we'll probably be talking about that in our news segments and stuff like that. But on Saturday, we're going to be getting the EA live stream. So now it's not really more of a press conference. It's more like on Saturday they're spending a whole day kind of covering all of their games. And the games they're covering in order is going to be Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Apex Legends, Battlefield 5, FIFA 20, Madden 20, and Sims 4. At least as of right now. And all these streams are going to be hosted by different people. So for Jedi Fallen Order, it's going to be hosted by Greg Miller and Andrea Renee. For Apex Legends, it's going to be Alex Mendez. For Battlefield 5, it's going to be Julia Hardy and Adam Freeman. For FIFA 20, it's going to be, again, Alex Mendez. For Madden 20, it's going to be Adam Rank. And then for Sims 4, it's Andrea Renee. And then all of the times for this, these, it's multiple streams happening at different times. So for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, it begins at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, 12:30 p.m., which would be 12:30 p.m. Eastern time, 11:30 a.m. Central time. So that's for Jedi Fallen Order. Apex Legends will be at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, noon, 12 p.m. noon Central time. Oh, so you're gonna have to like pick and choose. All of these are like kind of happening at the same time.
Well, I only care about one of them.
I'm aware.
So
I'm aware, but I have to go like so. FIFA 20.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying.
I get you, and I know which one.
What are you even going to talk about at FIFA and Madden? Like, what are you really going to talk about? It's the same game every year.
I know.
How do you have a segment? I mean, I get it. It's big. Like a lot of people play it. And you can talk about new features or whatever. But it's like. How, like, there really can't be that much new stuff going on. It's like the sports game is a sports game.
Yeah, so FIFA 20 is...
I just don't know what they're going to talk about. It's probably just going to be a hype fest for the next... Like, there's not. I just don't understand how you can have a whole segment on a game that's on its 20th iteration.
So, no, well, FIFA 20 is at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. Central time. Madden 20 is at 11:30 Pacific time, 2:30 Eastern time, 1:30 Central time, and then Sims 4 is at noon Pacific time, 12 a.m., 12 noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, and 2 p.m. Central time. Okay, now I got all the time zones out of the way. Bam. All right, yeah. I don't know why the hell they have a FIFA 20 and Madden 20. Like
if anything, I would have combined them.
Yeah, like
just to save time and money. Like,
well, but then again, like there's a fan base who cares about Madden,
it's
and
huge.
A fan base that cares about FIFA.
They're both huge games. I'm not saying that it's not going to be like there's going to be no turnout or anything. It's just like fundamentally, I just don't know what are you going to talk about? Like that hasn't been said about like it's the same game as last year with maybe better graphics and some mechanic tweaks, but it's like what substance do you really have to talk about?
Well,
with a
you know
sports
what?
Game?
You know what? Just to kind of just go off a little bit. Looking at all this, all these are happening from 9:30 to noon, all within about 2.5 hours. Like
so
all
it's not
these
going to be long.
So no, but like
I can't believe they're only giving a half hour to Jedi Fallen Order.
I mean, I don't know.
I guess each of them they're a half hour long a piece.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
I guess that's. I mean, how much can you say? But like I can understand. I can understand like trying to like a half hour for Apex and Jedi, because like you can't tell everybody. You can't you can't. If you had an hour there, then what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
you're gonna run out of stuff that you can talk about.
Yeah,
at the time.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
for FIFA and Madden, it's like I don't even know what a half an hour of talking about FIFA.
Well, mind you, like even for the like hour and a half to 2 hours from like all like EA's press conference, they spend at least half an hour, if not an hour, talking about Madden and FIFA, and that's like the potty break part of, because like like most of the people who watch E3, like there are people who care about it. I'm
footage, sure. Like I get like showing off the new, maybe it's a new engine or something. I guess like and I'm somewhat biased because I'm not a big sports guy. I enjoy playing FIFA. Madden a little bit boring for me. The
only sports game I play is
and I do like NBA, like basketball.
The only one I care about is WWE. Even then, I have my problems with that.
Well, yeah, it's almost too like WWE is fun, but it's almost too simple for me. Like it's just like there's just not that much to it. It's basically just like you have one button to attack and the other button's a counter, and you can pick stuff up and hit people with it, and that's really all there is to it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I enjoy it, but again,
I want a new Def Jam game.
Ooh, or Skate 4.
No, they already have that. It's called Session.
Oh.
It's not Skate. It's essentially what Skate 4
would have been.
But it's called, then there's a new game called, I don't know, it was talked about at last year's E3, but it's called Sessions.
Yeah.
And it's the newest skateboarding game coming out.
I mean,
I would like a new SSX game.
Ooh.
Like a modern one.
Yeah.
Like SSX on 360, PS3, phenomenal game, except there's no local multiplayer, which is ridiculous. But even if that was remastered, but I would like, because Steep is fun, but it's not, it gets boring for me, because honestly, Steep can only, like, there's no way it's as fun as SSX. Mm-hmm. SSX had that soundtrack, the ridiculous stuff you could do, amazing level design. That would be great.
I mean, like, honestly, I think this is honestly the best way that EA to go, because if for EA's press conference, you have to lump in the sports games, because because honestly,
but Jedi Fallen Order is really the only game in that list I really care about.
I agree, because like, so here's,
did you hear the rumor that they might put dinosaurs in the new Battlefield? Like raptors or something? I read an article. I don't know if it's legitimate, but I heard that might be a thing.
Honestly, good for them. Again,
I would probably want to play it, honestly.
Yeah, like, it's like
some time-crossed future war where you're fighting raptors or something.
That sounds rad.
Weaponized raptor.
That sounds rad. Look, I agree. The only game that I see here that I need to see and I want to see is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Mm-hmm. Everything else, like, I don't play Apex like that, and I'm not a first-person shooter kind of guy or Battle Royale. Battlefield 5, I've already been turned off by.
I own a FIFA and a Madden of, like, years ago, and I have no need to buy. I own them to have them in case I ever, have a friend over who wants to play a sports game, mm-hmm. or, like, if I'm feeling in the mood, but, like, I don't care enough to buy a new iteration.
I don't care at all. So, like, but I think the way they did this is honestly the best way mm-hmm. for EA to do it. Oh, sure. Because then what you can do is that you can pick and choose what you want to watch. You can pick and choose. Right,
you can tune in here, watch it, and then if you're done,
if you want to watch Apex, you can. Or if you don't want, you're excited for Battlefield 5, you can just skip
wait
Apex
a half hour.
Exactly. Or you can pretty much, like, it's going to be. I would honestly like to see the numbers, like the different numbers of, like, who's watching each different stream.
Oh yeah,
that would be very interesting to see. To see, like, how, like, if there's if there's a massive spike or a dip or whatever in each of the different streams. But I think that for EA, this is the best way to go, because honestly, every press conference, yes, we get excited for this as part of the video games media.
Sure.
But really, all these press conferences are to show off to the stockholders.
Oh, yeah.
That's what these are all for. Like, it's really only up until probably within the past maybe past decade that it has been, like, it's now a spectacle for the audience also.
Well, because stockholders or otherwise, the gamers are ultimately where your money's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the stockholders' opinion on whether or not people are going to want to play your game.
Exactly.
So it's like, you can focus on them all you want, but if your game comes out and it's Anthem, then you got problems.
Yep, which Anthem, like, that, I don't know. I'm surprised we haven't heard, there's not, like, any new announcements. It's literally, this is it. We're not going to be getting anything else. No surprises, no nothing. That this is it. And I'm like, really? The only thing I care, like, you have no surprises? You have nothing?
Maybe they do, and they're not putting it out. Otherwise, it would cease to be a surprise.
But
I'm not saying that's.
But where would you put like, if you're doing your stream, your press conference, whatever, like this? You can, like, why would you show Dragon Age during Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, or Skate during Battlefield 5? Skate 4 during Battlefield
4 is not going to happen.
I'm just, again, I know that.
I'm just saying.
I agree. It's going to be.
Look out for Session, though. It looks good.
I'll have to look into that. But like Dragon Age 4, that's kind of like the one we knew about. We kind of like are hearing about because of the Game Awards. That was a tease during the Game Awards. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I really don't know. We probably will be covering it. At least we're definitely going to probably watch Jedi Fallen Order, and we'll live stream that. Maybe Apex, Battlefield 5. We might do all of it. We might not. Who knows? We'll do all of it and just laugh our butts off at Madden and FIFA. But, like, look, and anyone out there, if you guys are excited for Madden and FIFA, awesome. Like
I said, they're not bad games.
No.
It's just, I just don't know how you can talk about a sports game on its 20th iteration for 30 minutes.
Oh, more than that. It's 20 because of the year 2020.
Right.
That's literally it.
Well, yeah. Well, whatever the case may be, all I'm saying is, it's just like, how much can you really have to say other than showing, like, footage?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, even then, after, like, a 5-minute trailer, what else are you going to show that isn't the same exact thing that they just saw?
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
I almost want to watch it just to see what they talk about.
Yeah.
Like, how do you fill 30 minutes of space talking about a new sports game?
Yeah. So, but again, we We may or may not. We'll let you know if we will be.
The important one will be talked about.
Yes, most.
The
definitely.
rest of it, we'll see how I feel.
Exactly. And then finally, so that's it of E3. The last thing that I want to talk about before we head off and end the show is PlayStation. PlayStation is not going to be at E3 at all. Not on their floor. They're not. We haven't heard of a state of play yet or anything like that. So, how do you think PlayStation can do you think they're going to do a state of play either before or probably more like after now? We're getting far too close to E3, but I feel like we're going to be getting a state of play after E3.
That would make sense.
And I think that's what they need to do. Is that they need.
I'm sure they will. Well, even in they said that we were going to hear more about Final Fantasy.
But that's that's a Square Enix because they have a press conference.
I mean, they would want the E3 to be over with so that they're not because if they put out a state of play either on. Not to say no one would watch it, but it would just be drowned out by.
Yeah, it would just be part of the whole E3.
But they would separate themselves by waiting till it blows over, probably like a few days, day or two after E3.
I'd probably say maybe about a week or two.
Yeah, like once it's all died down and everybody's already talked about everything, and then they come out with something when people when everybody's calmed down.
Yeah.
From E3.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what they could do.
Do you think the reason why we haven't heard anything is that they are kind of waiting for Microsoft to kind of make a play and then go,
well,
excuse me.
Sony already made the first play with the PS5
Nope, Microsoft did. Microsoft made the first, we're going into the next generation.
Okay, well, but it's been so long since they made that declaration that we already know about it, and there hasn't been anything new on it. So we know the specs of the PS5. Mm-hmm. That's a big thing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But yeah, no, I think now that you mention it, probably one of the main reasons that, in addition to any other numerable reasons they may have to not appear at E3, is so that they can basically be like an observer, and they can sit over here, watch what everybody else does, and then since they're not there and don't have to have something ready, they can base off their next state of play off of what they want to show off of what goes on at E3. So it's almost like being able to plan your move ahead of time with after your enemy's already you basically look at your enemy's hand, or not your enemy, but you look at your opponent's hand.
Yeah.
In a game, it's like being able to look at your opponent's hand in a game of cards and then make your move.
Yeah. And we've heard that PlayStation and Microsoft are working together with
that Azure,
mm-hmm.
cloud stuff.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting.
Which that's great. I honestly like that. It should be more about Nintendo and PlayStation and Microsoft and everyone working together.
Basically, it should be about games are for fun. And not everybody has to be.
Anyway, and that the whole console war. That's literally just a buzzword for people like us to speculate, and it's more of a fun thing instead of going
it's like healthy competition is what the console war is. It's just that's a much more. You don't say healthy console competition. You say console war. It's just It's war automatically has this negative connotation, but it's the only reason we get such good games is because everybody's trying to outdo.
Yeah, and they're you want the competition, you want.
It's like any business,
yeah,
right? Any competing industry. If you're the best, you have no need to try to improve. So anybody who comes out and does better than you forces you to do better, and it's.
And that's why, and honestly, I do worry about PlayStation because PlayStation has pretty much won this generation.
Oh yeah,
the PS4 has outsold the Xbox One.
Yeah, the numbers.
I think that's why Xbox is playing the long game. But I'm worried. I don't want PlayStation to become the PlayStation during the PS3 era because they got.
They get full of hubris.
Because that they created the PS3 at $600. No one wanted it. It came out a year after the Xbox 360. 360 was already selling, regardless of the Red Ring of Death. That people didn't care.
It was the games.
Yeah,
that it had.
Yep, and it really took a very long time for them to.
Because I feel like the PS3 is pretty much when PlayStation established the console exclusivity with games.
Yes, that is very.
Yes. PS2 was that was the number one game system of all time.
Yeah,
that's still. To this day, sold more. The DS is number 2.
Mm-hmm.
But the PlayStation just had the PS2 had been around. It was around for so long and had so many games that. There was no competition. I mean, the Xbox was competition, but that was because it had Halo and Gears of War. Was that 360?
360.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So with the original Xbox, which would have been the PS2 era, like there wasn't, other than Halo and Forza, there wasn't much.
No, yeah.
You know?
So like, and PlayStation still needs to be a part of the conversation. Like PlayStation probably isn't there for one.
A PS2 Mini.
Ooh,
That would be fun.
I that would be great. But I like one PS3 like I'm sorry. Who's that? I'm blanking. Sean Layden, head of PlayStation. Ugh. Sean Layden's put out a statement saying the reason that they're not being at E3 is so that way they can kind of control the conversation more. That's why, now we have state of plays now, and it's much easier to put, like, Death Stranding, that trailer, your announce date, that just came out of literal nowhere. That wasn't in a state of play. It's just Kojima went. He put out a tweet going, on this day, like tomorrow or whatever, it was like May 20, or no, I'm sorry, it was like May 28th or whatever. He was like be prepared or something. And then the trailer hits, and everyone's losing their mind, including myself. And it's not even during a state of play or anything. It's just, here's that. And honestly, that's kind of how media is being consumed now. You don't need to wait for an E3 in order to get excited for the next video game. And that's what PlayStation is working with. That's what PlayStation's doing. I still think they need to do a good an hour-long state of play. Go more into Death Stranding. Show me Ghost of Tsushima. Give me Ghost of Tsushima. Show me that Last of Us Part 2 is just about ready to come out. Show me some more third-party games that PlayStation can show off that makes sense with PlayStation's stuff. Mm-hmm. They might not have enough exclusives or whatever to show off during at a press conference, and also it's expensive to do that. Yeah. That might have also been a reason why they pulled out.
They probably save a bunch of money just having to make some graphics, basically just editing a video together as opposed to putting on a production.
Mm-hmm. And that's whole thing is PlayStation press conferences are always a big spectacle. That's the one thing they always outdo when it comes to spectacle. I will never ever forget 2016's PlayStation's press conference. That was one of the best press conferences during E3 I've ever seen, and have never been more excited since then. That was when they announced Marvel Spider-Man, God of War, Last Guardian. That was a massive E3. But I think PlayStation needs to control the conversation by coming out maybe a week or two later and doing a state of play. Mm-hmm. And that way, at the end, you're at the end of the high, and while it's coming out, you have PlayStation coming in, and then you can have people get excited for your brand.
Right.
If they don't talk about that, people are going to be talking about the Project Scarlet and whatever Ubisoft and Nintendo and Square Enix and everyone else. They will get lost. They will get lost in the conversation if they don't mention something during that time.
Right.
I want to hear something from them, even no matter how small it is. Maybe we'll hear more about the system or whatever. Maybe they are holding off to see what Microsoft does. But I think that's what they need to do, and that's the big thing. But yeah, is there anything else you want to add? I think we covered everything.
Pretty much it.
So yeah, guys, thank you so much for listening to us. We pretty much wanted to cover every press conference that we're going to be covering. As stated before, we're going to be doing watch-alongs, and you can go to our Facebook and also our Twitter accounts. We'll be putting up the schedule. We'll be live tweeting and streaming our watch-alongs with all these press conferences. We'll be doing a pre-show and a post-show for each press conference. And yeah, it's E3 is going to be it's always a busy week and always big for the video games industry, so I'm looking forward to it. But guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, comment, subscribe. We always appreciate that. And then if you haven't already, please hit the bell icon. That way, whenever we put up a video, we put up a video. YouTube.com/Brotherhood of Geeks. Then you can also follow us on Facebook, which is Facebook.com/The Brotherhood of Geeks. And then you can also follow us on Twitter at Dualshock'd, BOG. That's the name of our PlayStation podcast, Dualshock'd, BOG. And then you can also watch us on Twitch when we stream our E3 conference. We'll be streaming it on Twitch and or YouTube. But you can also follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/Brotherhood of Geeks. So yeah, are you excited for E3?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to see what's going to be coming out.
It's gonna be a busy week, but it's gonna be fun. It's always fun during this time. And we'll definitely be letting you guys know if and when we're going to be covering whether it's part or all or most of EA's placed live stream. That is what they call it. But we'll be covering every other press conference, and then if there's any other news, we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about all of that during our post show, our live stream, all that kind of good stuff. I'm excited. You excited?
I'm excited.
Great, awesome. All right, well then, I'm Brett J. Rasmussen,
I'm Guru Blaz.
and as always, live to play. Play together. We'll see you guys next time.